my ways and make plays. Make money and grow my flower bed. Make no mistake, I'm no teddy bear.
All right, let's move on to the Xavier Musketeers. The man next to me, Andy Mack, really doesn't need an introduction. The leader of Kicking It Old School with Andy Mack. Andy, how you doing today?
Go ahead, give me an introduction anyway. I like it. My ego needs to be inflated here.
It doesn't. You are a legend. You are
I like that.
A scholar.
Yes.
You have a massive vocabulary.
All true.
Yeah. Honestly, you're the type of person that when you walk in a room provides an incredible presence, and at times I'm at a loss for words.
You went a little far with that, Brad, but I like it. I like where it's coming from. It's a sign of respect and even worship.
I have more than worship. I think is a closer word than respect. But you look well today. Your jacket's phenomenal.
Genuflect. This is my official. Here's the patch over. Where's the patch? I forget. Oh, here it is. Here it is. There's the patch. This is official Xavier Old School. I come to a video audio opportunity, and I am dressed to the nines.
You look fantastic.
I'm ready to go.
I'm disappointed because I feel like myself, Nick, and Greg that we are not even close to matching the wardrobe that Andy has on over here. Andy's looking fresh. He's looking fly. I'm in sweatpants. Are all three of us wearing sweatpants?
We're all in sweatpants, 100%.
No problem. You relate, though, to our key demographic.
Yeah,
and
we do.
I don't. I have no simpatico with the key demographic. I'm just an information source.
That you are.
You are a never-ending information source.
Like an encyclopedia. An encyclopedia.
Let's get you up to date right now with Xavier Team 96 in early October. Full practice began on Sunday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Coach Mack has the boys on the floor probably for upwards of 2.5 hours. Then he shows great mercy and gives all the players off for the university-sanctioned fall break. So there's no practice Thursday, Friday, Saturday, which
that's good.
Is he getting soft?
I don't know. Players can go home. They can be with their families, get a little time off. I like this play by Coach Mack. Long season. This is a good opportunity to kind of show the players, hey, take your time right now. Go see some friends. Go see some family. But then when you get back, we're locked in and we're working the rest of the time.
Yeah, work hard 4 days. You get 3 days off. And I think Coach Mack and the staff have some heavy recruiting to do also.
Absolutely. I think so, too. With everything that's kind of happened in college basketball, the landscape is a little bit crazy right now. But I think there are a few players that Xavier may have on the radar that might be moving places.
The Muskies have lost a freshman, Jared Ritter, the 6'7", I guess, swing man who was described as a 6'7" Brad Redford, which is the ultimate compliment from anybody who knows basketball. This guy's a great shooter, but he's gone back to Missouri.
Yeah, kind of an interesting situation. I don't remember anything like this happening recently at Xavier, but Jared Ritter got onto campus in the summer. Within just a few months, decides to go back home, is no longer a Musketeer. Hard to say how big of a loss it was because we never got to see him suit up in a Xavier uniform, but from what scouts were saying, what other coaches were saying, they were really excited about this guy's upside and especially his shooting ability on the offensive side.
I watched Ritter practice a few days ago before he left, obviously, and there were 11 scholarship guys on the floor, and he was number 11. And not to say bad things about Ritter, I thought he could shoot the lights out, but players are pretty intelligent. You played the game, you know that, and they can count the heads. They know where they stand in the pecking order. I think Ritter might have seen his reality as a possible red shirt or maybe very few minutes, certainly not very many minutes in the Big East.
So do you feel like for him it was more of a decision based on the amount of playing time that he was going to see moving forward throughout maybe his freshman year in his career, or was it a decision that he made to leave from a culture standpoint? What do you think would have been the bigger factor in that for Jared Ritter?
I don't know the kid. I didn't have a chance to meet him. He wasn't around long enough, or maybe I wasn't around enough. But I think it's a combination. A lot of pressure on these freshmen, socially, academically, away from home. Then they come in and the competitive level is maybe more than they perceived. And I think all that added up to just an early, quick decision, which is probably better for the overall program. If this is going to fester into the preseason, the regular season, the Big East season, it's not good to have a dissatisfied, disgruntled, disheartened player around.
And if it was truly in his heart that Xavier didn't make sense for him, then it was good that he made that decision to leave, because that's challenging. I mean, he could have stayed out that whole year. I mean, if he does go ahead and take a red shirt this year because he's not going to get many minutes and Coach Mack and staff don't want him to play here coming up, he would have had a more difficult time transferring, and then he would have had to sit out a whole nother year. So I think for him in the long run, I'd like to think that this will work out for him. Didn't feel like there was any ill will on either side between Jared or the coaching staff.
And realistically, it makes a scholarship available. And I think Xavier may be in an enviable position, sort of the positive side of this whole FBA, NCAA recruiting scandal that has just hit all the headlines. Xavier might be in a position to pick up some very good players here, either in decommits from class of 2018 or transfers down the road, whether it be at mid-year or at the end of the year. I think Xavier has no exposure in this FBI, NCAA recruiting scandal whatsoever. They are not involved. They are on the positive side of the equation, and they're going to have a lot of scholarships available. I mean, 4 seniors leaving. They only have the one recruit with a verbal commit, the 7-footer from Covington Catholic, Jake Walter. They're in the catbird seat to acquire some really talented players.